Randle's still here. Now, I know this really, you want to talk about the height of nothingness, nonsensical drivel.
I mean, maybe.
Social media stuff.
Maybe.
That, let's face it.
Or maybe not.
Well, I hear you. I was going to say, at our point in our lives, in our 40s with kids, I couldn't give a rat's ass, not a single rat's ass, about somebody unfollowing somebody on Instagram. Not a rat's ass. However, I will say when Julius Randle takes the time out of his day to unfollow the Knicks, I mean, it at least has to be a little bit of a radio conversation, doesn't it?
So let me ask, do you think that Julius Randle runs his own Instagram account?
You know what? You ask me this all the time.
I know, but just by
up.
looking at the content.
I believe he does.
Like you can tell. Like, so for instance, Tom Brady's Instagram account, maybe not his Twitter account, but his Instagram account is clearly not run solely by him.
Although I still think he's the one who hits enter or the button send.
Well,
I think he's got this whole team of digital art designers.
But if you look at
editors for sure, I do. But I think I do. I think he's that kind of person.
Tom Brady's Instagram account is like beautiful. Every picture is perfect.
Well, that's Tom Brady. And that's his wife. His family.
Every post has a purpose. He has help with it. He's not sitting there like you and I, like, all right, we got the.
Speak for yourself. I have help. I got a team of people. All 5,000 Instagram followers.
So my
if
question,
I even have that
do you
many.
think Julius Randle runs his own?
Yes,
Instagram?
I do.
All right, so
100%,
which is key.
100%.
So
by the way, real quick, even if he doesn't, he would instruct somebody to unfollow. It's not like they're just going to be so brazen.
I understand.
Okay,
but if he did, and someone else did it. Even if it was under his instruction, think about what we're talking about now.
Think about this.
Even if it was under his instruction, he could then claim, he did it by accident. I told him to unfollow Nick Haters, whatever. You know what I mean? There's a Nick Haters count.
Dude, the guy didn't speak to the media in 8 of 9 games. Do you think he's going to provide context as to what happened with his unfollowing history on Instagram?
If he ends up staying here and doesn't get traded in the next 6 days,
he don't care.
And as a Knick, and people actually start asking him about this because he now starts playing better and he's here. Hey, why'd you unfollow the Knicks? Oh, you know what? That was my assistant.
I got a fat thumb. What's his excuse?
I told him to unfollow, Knick Media, and instead he unfollowed the Knicks.
He's trying to unfollow Mark Berman. Stop.
I have no idea.
No, come on. Did you know the answer? He's very sensitive based on what he told us to do to ourselves as fans. The fact that he was so petty to not meet the media for basically 2 weeks straight. I did give him a little bit of a reprieve when he was thumbing through his phone the other night because he gave a good answer about Quentin Grimes, so he wasn't disengaged about that. I want to be fair to Julius Randle. I'm about being fair, as are you. But I mean, this guy's been on a 3-month-long bout of being as disengaged as you can as a franchise leader. Do I think he unfollowed the Knicks? Yes, and I'm going to tell you why.
Go ahead.
You want me to tell you?
Yes, please.
I think that Julius Randle is so sensitive. Dove, what is Dove laughing at?
He still follows him on Twitter.
Who does?
Randle.
No, I let it. Tiki's response was great. Should I tell you this? Yes, please.
Tiki knows I was going to say it anyway.
Exactly.
You could have said maybe. You could have ignored me. You could have said whatever. I was still going to give it to you.
Thank you, BT. Can I have another?
Yes. All right. So here's my theory on Randle's unfollowing of the Knicks on Instagram. He is so thin-skinned and so ultra-sensitive. And again, it doesn't mean anything to us in our 40s with kids and whatever. But to a youngish guy who's 27, who has been on this incredibly volatile ride in New York, both the apex of the achievement with second-team All-NBA, and now everybody wanting him gone, or at least almost everybody, including me. I think that was his preemptive move, okay, to save face, which means Julius Randle either asked for a trade or was approached by the Knicks about the distinct possibility of, or his agent, about being traded, that, in the mind of a 27-year-old fragile athlete, Randle's sitting there saying, as he rationalizes in his own mind, you know what, if I unfollow them now, I'm laying the foundation to create my narrative. This way, when they trade me,
he's controlling it.
It's almost like, I wanted out anyway.
Yeah,
I was done with the Knicks.
I don't know that.
I don't know it either, but that's what I strongly believe.
By the way, Gallo, who is our digital content director, said...
Is that the official title?
Yeah, I just asked.
Oh, it is?
Digital
He's good, by the way.
He is.
Big St. John's
Gallo
fan.
says that it's not exactly clear whether or not he ever followed them in the first place.
Where is Gallo? Get Gallo in here. Put him on the air.
Gallo's got to come in and give us some
stuff.
explanation. However, BT, he is still following them on Twitter. So the question would become, do you think he manages his own Twitter account? And if the answer is yes, then why did he unfollow on Instagram but not unfollow on Twitter? So I would think that either it was a mistake or he never followed them in the first place.
Well, to the first part, we'll get the answer soon, because if it was a mistake, he'll make the correction and follow them again. All right, so Gallo is in studio. He's Gallo, what's the exact title again? You do good work. What's the title?
I like digital content director, but that's actually Izzo. I'm just the digital content producer.
I was going to say, that sounded a little too
I was
official.
churching you
I
up,
like
man.
director, though. We can call me director.
I'm churching you up.
Yeah,
Nobody
right.
knows. Who cares?
By the way, nice Johnny's win. We should play Georgetown every
Every
game.
night.
That's the first thing he said to me when we came in.
Penny
Digital
actually had a shot.
content producer Anthony Gallo
Okay.
is now on the mic.
Now, what is your thought about this whole Randle thing, Gallo? What do you got?
Well, I saw it last night, but everyone's like, no one can confirm that he followed them in the first place.
Okay.
And he still follows them on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
So why did it become a big story that he unfollowed them if he never followed them, or did someone just check?
Well, because we all hate him right now.
I know, but did somebody just check and be like, well, let me see if Julius
Somebody's
Randle
looking for contract. Absolutely. You know the answer to that. Come
it
on.
might have been Knicks Fan TV, CP and those guys. It might have been them that pointed it out. I don't know. Everything he does right now is a big deal. Like him going into the huddle was a big deal, but no one prefaced it with the fact that he was sticking up for IQ.
Yes.
Because Desmond Bain was getting in his face.
Well, by the way, I didn't have much of an issue with that, but there was a scene in Miami, there was footage out in
he's
Milwaukee.
been a disaster.
I mean, aside from the way he's playing, which is horrendous. I mean, he was -9 the other night when we got waxed by the Memphis Grizz. That represented some serious achievement because he was like -34.
He barely bent his legs jogging back on defense.
He's not even trying, dude. We know this, but you saw the video circulating from inside the arena when the entire team was around the coach, and he was sitting there isolated by the there's no doubt that he's not happy. There's no doubt. Well, I shouldn't say I don't have any doubt that he wants out, and I hope the Knicks have no doubt that they need to make that happen. But from the social media point of view, I don't know. Is he more active on Instagram or Twitter?
I never see him on anything.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't even know if I follow him. But I don't see him actively, and like you would think he would get retweeted every time he did something now.
That's true. Like LeBron.
Yes.
One of those guys. All right.
It's a great point.
All right, Gallo. Go about your day, buddy. Appreciate you. Anthony Gallo, everybody.
Yes.
There he is.
Yes.
He's got a better title right now than when he woke up this morning, thanks to Tiki. Not another penny in his pocket.
Just make it up.
But
You don't know the answer, make it up.
All right. So, I mean, I really just don't know how he recovers. And we asked Oak about this.
Yeah.
Many things we spoke to Oak about. And he even said, he's like, I'm not putting words in his mouth, but
he said he knows what
he
knows what the Knicks want.
It's not going to work anymore.
This is what the Knicks fans want. Mm-hmm. What the Knicks fans want, he's not giving. And so at the end of the day, it's almost like even if he does start to play better, is it too late? That's the question that I think it's hard to answer.
What's your answer?
My answer, I mean, you're paying him, and because I don't think anybody wants him. To be honest with you, I
disagree because there's a few contracts out there that you can slip in a trade that makes it more palatable
for the team. I know he signed a whatever it was
27. I'll pop the numbers up for you.
27 or
27.
So.
It's short of the max. Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I mean that's a blessing, but still, for moving it. But so his career has not been one of he was on this trajectory in year 2, and then year 3 he took a couple steps forward, and in year 4 he had this explosive All-NBA season. Maybe it was year 5.
Year 5 or 6.
Yeah, 5 or 6. Explosive All-NBA season, and now he's regressing, but it's only because of the circumstances around him in New York. We can make something up. That's not his path. Mm-hmm. His path was I'm average. Literally by PER, I'm average. Inefficient. I have this one great year in New Orleans, which gets me interest from the New York Knicks. I have an All-NBA season 2 years in, and now I come back to being average again. And so he doesn't feel desirable to me. Now, if someone can use him in spot duty, maybe that works, but I don't think he would be happy in that situation. And he's not happy in this situation. So it's almost easier than trying to trade him to just kind of put him in better positions with the Knicks. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. By the way, here's the numbers. So, all right, next year it's 26.1, which is not horrendous.
Nope.
I mean, you got guys making 45, 50.
That's right.
Including John Wall, who's not doing anything. And then in 23-24, he's at 28.2. And then in 24-25, he's at 30, which still is not terrible. Then he's got a player option, 25-26 for 32. Now, let me answer the question, and then we'll get some calls on this at 877-337-6666. Do I think he can recover? Because that is the deeper issue.
Mm-hmm.
You know where I stand on him now.
Yes.
But for those who are done, I'll put quotes around the word done with Randle, is there a path for him to regain our trust? It's really a good question. It really is. What do you think my answer is?
Yes.
My answer is no.
Oh, really?
I'm 100% done with Randle. There is nothing nebulous about my position.
Why so
1,000% done with Randle.
Why so definitive?
I'm going to tell you. First of all, he has shown he doesn't have the chops to flourish here. Because the moment people started coming back into the arena and the moment the playoff spotlight was shown on the Garden, he disintegrated. Now, if you want to say that's a one-off, okay. How did he respond this year? Very similar to the way he finished last year, which means the way he compartmentalized that over the summer, it got somewhere in the deepest recesses of his brain, and he wasn't able to funnel it out. And then he disrespected us, and I can even get over that. Like I can't like. When
you kind of did actually. You kind of did because he apologized,
and I'm not here to like terminally bury somebody unless they're some hardened criminal like egregiously breaking the law.
Yeah, does something unforgiving.
Yeah, he had a rough night. He gave the finger to us, even though it was the thumb. And then he, doubled down post-game and said, we can go F ourselves. And we said what we said. And then he apologized. I said, okay, I really did like Randle. Like, I really
know you
liked
did.
him.
You loved
him,
Randle.
actually. But I will never trust him. To be the leader and the player that I thought he had a chance to be. And I was always a little convinced that he'd be more of a leader than a 1A, even at the apex a year ago, Bosch jokes aside. Deep down I knew the Knicks would never win a championship if he's the best guy on the team. I always knew that. I know basketball. I knew that. But when you run from your leadership responsibilities, which he did, not talking to the media, not going to help guys up, topping. That's a bad look, man. You want to tell me I'm petty? That's fine. You can tell me I'm petty. His boy was on the ground. He looked at him. He kept walking. You can sit at the end of the bench in multiple cities. I mean, I can't go back. I'm done. And I'm not trying to make it personal. I'm not trying to sound tough. But I'm done with it. That's it. I will never trust him. Even if he went and by the way, the Knicks are I told you, the Knicks will be in the lottery, and you can bank that they will. But even if they go on this run, which ain't coming, because you can make the case 15 of the next 16 games, they will be absolute underdogs.
Yeah, huge ones, by the way.
Underdog, monster, right? So they're done. And I'm done with Randle. I don't trust him. Mike's in Staten Island. Mike is on the fan, Tiki and Tierney. Mike.
How you guys doing today?
What's up, Mike?
Good to speak to you. Thanks for having me. So just speaking on Randle and the Knicks as a whole, I really think paying him after that big year last year has us in a sticky situation now. If we would have let it ride, I believe we had a year on his contract. We could have seen if it was a consistent, like, this is who this guy is now. We could trust him to be our leader. Or if not, maybe we develop the young guys after and we go that route. But now, if we can't trade him, we're saddled with him, and we all, as fans, don't trust him. And that's not the best situation to be in after last year, looking so positive.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is, you wanted to see what he could become. And so last year proved it a little bit. But what you actually should have done is make it a 2-year prove-it process as opposed to a 1-year prove-it process, because you got to see some consistency. He bounced around. The Knicks were his third team, right, or fourth?
Lakers,
Pelicans.
Pelicans, Knicks.
Third team.
And hopefully a fourth is coming.
So it's third team, and, you're not 30 years old on your third team. You're 24 years old on your third team. There's something that should be a warning sign. And after having one great season and an anomaly year, probably paying him should have waited. And then we would know. If we had 2 great years, we'd actually have more leash to forgive him. You know what I mean? As opposed to 1 great year.
True, but they didn't, and we don't. And now we've got to correct this. And again, the season's over. So, and I think most Knicks fans understand that, unfortunately. But I need to see trades. Like, I know I sound like a broken record, but I need Leon Rose to jettison a combination. I need 3 players off this team. And it's not about them.
Yeah.
It's about the players not playing. Like, I'm done with Burks. I don't need Randle. We talk about him all the time. Kemba Walker, he's one of us. I'm not trying to disrespect Kemba, but Kemba, needs to move on. I need to see McBride get 10 to 12 minutes. I need to see Grimes get 28 to 30. I need to see Toppin play 30 minutes. I need to see the offense go through Barrett more and not Randle. I need to see Mitchell Robinson get an extension. He's been playing very, very well. Leon Rose needs to do his job. And you know what? I believe that he will. I think Leon Rose will get that aspect done. I've got faith there. Let's go to, how about Anthony, who's in Trenton? Anthony, you're on the fan. What's up, buddy?
How you guys doing? Love the show.
Appreciate you, Anthony. What's up, man?
First and foremost, I wanna thank you guys for the interview with Oakley last week. That was a phenomenal interview. Oakley, as always, did not disappoint, and you guys brought the best out in him.
He keeps it real.
That's for
he
sure.
Really does. I mean, he was our guy. He was our guy in the '90s. For as well as the team played and as tough as they were, there was something about Oakley that made us all just puff our chest out a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So the thing I called about was last night on social media. I want to say the profile I was on was maybe it was like Hoops Rumors on Instagram.
Yep.
They brought something up. It said it was about Donovan Mitchell, and it said sources say another early exit by the Jazz is going to send Mitchell to the Knicks.
Well, we hit this 2 weeks ago, by the way.
Yeah.
We touched on this 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
This
Complete your
this
thought,
popped up
a
a week and a half ago or so.
Yep.
I mean, look, man, we're thirsty. We're looking for that guy.
Yeah.
And he'll stretch the floor. He gives us. He brings some legitimacy to the team, and really like to see something like that.
It would be nice, Anthony. It really would. And thanks for the call there, bud. Appreciate you down in Trenton. I mean, it's high time we get a guard, dude. I mean, we talk about trying to win. You can't win without a dominant lead guard.
Yeah, and Donovan Mitchell could be that. I mean,
that could be.
Yeah, he feels like he wants to be in the spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
And Utah, Utah's good, but
yeah, it's good to go film a bear show. I mean, and catch a 22.5-ounce brown trout.
Yeah,
first time I went fly fishing.
I'm talking about the team in specific.
Yeah.
But I think the point of that article is that Donovan Mitchell's at that year, right? This is his contract year, right? This is year 4. Is it year 4?
No, he's not a free agent this year. There's no way he's a free agent.
I mean, this is his 5th year.
No, I know, but
he's got one more.
He's got another year.
He's got one more. But still.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that after this season, if they don't get it done, right? After this year, if it's not done or at least close, Donovan Mitchell's not signing his rookie extension.
There's no chance he's signing there. He's gonna, and they know it, and they're going to have to react to it. And a team like the Utah Jazz, who are generally well-run and smart and perceptive and savvy, they will react to that. Instead of hoping that he changes his mind, they're going to have to make a trade. Let me just look at their numbers real quick, because the one thing, with Ingles going down, right, I don't know. I mean, Randle probably wouldn't be thrilled, but maybe that's a spot to ship Randle. Let's see. Yeah, dude, I thought Mitchell signed the extension.
Did he?
Yeah, I thought he did. He's due with.
So then, how would he get out?
Well, listen, if he just says I'm done with Utah.
Yeah, but that's
cause a stink and want to sit.
Yeah, but then you get Ben Simmons.
Anthony Davis did it.
But Anthony Davis had a year left.
Well, I understand that, but I'm not saying that you don't go the Ben Simmons route. But
if he just signed an extension, he's going to have to go the Ben Simmons route.
Well, he's got 3 years to go with a player option. The player option's in 2025 for $37 million. So. That's something the Knicks will be all in on.
Yeah, but that's a pipe dream.
No, I think Lillard's a pipe dream. Like, to me, that's ridiculous. Knicks are nowhere near winning. He's 31. He's a point guard. I'm going after somebody like Mitchell. I'm going after somebody like Beal, although I don't really see that happening. I would even go Karl Anthony Towns. Talk about a guard. He's a big man. But, like, the Lillard thing to me is a move the Lakers make when they're just trying to win one more with LeBron. What would Damian Lillard's amazing.
Yeah.
But what is he doing to change the Knicks' fortune for the next 3-4 years?
Nothing.
Yeah, I agree.